Hello everyone and welcome to my life. So this video series is unscripted, unedited, and I am just winging it. I am not going to pause. I am not going to edit out all of the ahs and pauses and snafus that I do during this. So this series is a journal of my mental health and spiritual journey through some major life changes. And right now I'm talking about property management for the first time in my life. So I come from a history where all my life I've rented. My parents rented. They owned a house before I was born, but sold it and rented after I was born. And I have always rented all through my first marriage and through raising my kids. And in 2016, I bought this house with these beautiful shiplap walls that I'm in love with in this beautiful area in a beautiful rural area just outside of Ithaca, New York, walking distance to the upper trails of Tremont Park, driving short drive to a bunch of different parks, waterfalls, gorges, state parks, all kinds of beautiful stuff. So, 2016, I became a homeowner for the first time in my life. Never become a landlord ever. And so last year at this time, just to give you a little recap, hubby and I decided, well, hubby and I were in discussions over leaving this beautiful area, going down to the beach where we vacation every year so that he can be warmer and in a music scene, and I can be on the beach and warmer, and buying property down there. And we were discussing making it rental income property. And of course, being a touristy area we were moving to, we were discussing short term rentals being higher volume in income than long term rentals. And if we got a property manager, then it would be doable for us. So we went down in February last year, or this year, 2025, to look at properties and found that the ones that we were had available to us were all long-term rental only, but then a short-term rental popped up and we snatched it right up. So that's a little recap of previous videos up until this point. And in my last video, I discussed how we hired a property manager to help us manage this through the season. And we were planning our move to move down there November of this year. So it's October right now. We're looking at that move in just 2 weeks, and it's a little stressful. So when I get later on in this series, you're going to hear more about those kind of stresses. But right now, I'm talking about this video will be my April trip down there. So around March, we closed down the house. We hired the property manager. And even though he started advertising it and there were some bookings coming up for May and so forth, there were some red flags with him, a lot of communication breakdown with him, a lot of things where we were wondering whether things were getting done or not. So I planned a trip down in April to stay at the property for a week, see how it was to stay in the property, to get it from the guest's point of view. That was my main goal. Also, it was furnished, and there were also some furnishings that I wanted to add to it, so I had been ordering some IKEA things to be delivered there for the week I was down there. I was going to put the stuff together. And of course, meet the property manager, meet the maintenance man, and I was promised to also meet the house cleaning team, and that never happened. So, anyway, I get down there and unedited, all the pauses, all of my having to stop and think. So I get down there and I get settled, and right off the bat, I'm looking around, and house cleaning had cleaned it up as though I was an Airbnb guest. The place had a king-sized bed with king-sized pillows and regular pillows as well. I bought those with the house, but the house cleaning team does the laundry service and only had the short pillowcases. So the long pillows had short pillowcases stuffed onto them with half the pillow sticking out. That was the first thing I noticed. The second thing I noticed was that I had one teeny little hotel bar soap that was old and crumpled up, so it was like broken up pieces of a tiny little Bob Barker soap, if you will. If you know, you know. Sitting on the sink. My soap dispensers that I inherited with the house that were supposed to be, that are in the tub area, that were supposed to have the shampoo, conditioner, and body wash, were empty. And it was clean, but it wasn't all that. So I knew I had some things to discuss with the property manager. So I, this is a weird uh, video to make because I'm trying to remember all the different things, and there was so much going on and so little at the same time because I hadn't planned anything out, just like I didn't plan out this video. But my IKEA stuff was going to come Thursday, like 2 days before I moved, before I came back home. So Sunday through Wednesday, I explored the area. I went out and bought a lot of little things for the thing. I mean, the place had all of the basic necessities you expect in an Airbnb, but it didn't have a bottle opener. It didn't have phone chargers or a phone charging station. You know, it didn't have, uh, what else did I buy? I bought a lot. I bought some throw pillows. I bought some books for to read, and I based those off of the covers because the color scheme in the for the furniture was orange and black. Sounds Halloweeny instead of beachy, but it actually looked pretty nice. So I bought books that were like had orange and black covers that were like romance novels and some mystery novels and things like that. So I did pick good reads, but that matched my color scheme. And I had brought down a whole slew of board games to put on the in the property, and doing all the little nesting things that a new homeowner would want to do, and having some fun at it. And then I met with the property manager, and I had my handy dandy laptop with all of my questions, all of my concerns. And I sat down with him in person because I'd been sending him these questions piecemeal over time via email and in voicemails and not getting responses back. And I'm not going to go into all the details that we discussed with him, but there were a lot. Him and I sat in the property for probably an hour, hour and a half, discussing all these things where he was reassuring me, yep, I'm going to be on all of the platforms. There were like 6 different platforms: Airbnb, Verbo, Booking.com, uh, all the different things. There were like 6 of them, plus his company's website. And he had taken some pictures for the property that where the beds were unmade, bare stripped beds with a folded blanket at the bottom of them, looking like prison cells, if you ask me. And the kitchen table had like, he had to fix something on the water heater, and the kitchen table photo in the kitchen had like a water heater knob sitting on the table. And there were other aspects of the photo that I really didn't like. Like when we first started, I was so excited and I was researching all these things like, ooh, this camera angle would look wonderful and gain more people to the thing. And if you do a close up of this, then that, I was describing all that to him in emails and texts, and he seemed receptive, but then the pictures were abysmal. So he reassured me that the pictures would be taken care of, that because I'm adding furniture and because he knew that the beds weren't made and different little things, he reassured me that he wanted top quality photos and they were going to be done like the week after I left. The photos saga went on for the whole time up until we got rid of him. Oops, spoiler alert. We got rid of him eventually. But we put up with a lot of shenanigans with him, and the photos saga just highlights it also. That's going to be thing that I focus on in these videos. There were a lot of other things as well, but anyway. So we went over a whole lot of things where he reassured me, and he talks a good game, and he sounds like he's on his game. And then Thursday comes, and I'd asked to borrow his handyman to help me put the furniture together when it came. So the maintenance man and I got along great. He's a great guy. I love him. He does a good job, and I wish him well, and I hope he finds a better job away from Michael. Anyway, we had a wonderful day of putting dressers together and assembling dressers and bookshelves and chairs and all kinds of things, and that was fun. And so we didn't get it all done that Thursday, and Friday I wanted to hit the beach, so I let him finish up putting the furniture together after I left. And that is the saga of my April trip this past year, going down and meeting with the property manager, exploring the energy of the place, exploring the ambiance, exploring some restaurants, getting a pizza delivery to the wrong house initially, and just learning a whole bunch about my new neighborhood I'm going to be living in. It was a whole lot of fun. So if there's anything you would have done differently, I'd love to hear it down in the comments below. And if there is any questions you have for me, put them down in the comments below. And as questions roll in, I'll make videos addressing some of the comments and questions that come in. And I love you guys so, so much. If you are subscribed, thank you and welcome back. And if you're not, well, welcome. And I hope that you subscribe and hit that like button down below. And I will see you in my next video. Namaste.